One exercise, 60 seconds. That is all it takes for a licensed physical therapist to identify whether you are at serious fall risk right now. Most seniors have never heard of this exercise. Almost none of them are doing it daily. And the ones who built it into their morning routine have balance scores that test 10 years younger than their actual age. Here is what makes that so striking. This drill requires no equipment, no gym membership, no therapy appointment. It requires a kitchen counter and 60 seconds of your morning. But here is the real question. If this exercise is so effective, why has no one told you about it? The answer is simpler than you think, and slightly infuriating. Today, you are going to learn the single best balance drill that physical therapists prescribe first. You are going to learn why your balance right now may be far weaker than it feels, and you are going to walk away with a morning protocol that can measurably change your fall risk in 30 days. Stay with me, because the way most people attempt this exercise actually makes their balance worse, not better. You probably feel like your balance is fine. That is one of the most dangerous beliefs a person over 60 can hold. Balance does not fail suddenly. It declines over months and years in ways that are nearly invisible until the moment something goes terribly wrong. Your brain uses three separate systems to keep you upright at all times. First, your eyes, which read the visual environment around you. Second, your inner ear, which tracks the angle and motion of your head. Third, the pressure-sensitive nerve endings buried deep in the muscles, joints, and tendons of your feet and ankles. These three systems communicate with each other hundreds of times per second, making micro-adjustments you never consciously register. When all three are strong, their coordination is effortless. When one begins to weaken, as they all do with age, the other two pick up the slack. That compensation is exactly what hides the problem from you. Your brain patches the gap. That compensation is exactly what hides the problem from you. You feel stable. But your real balance capacity has been quietly declining for years, and there was no way to feel it happening. Here's the fact that stops most people cold. Research published through the National Institute on Aging shows that adults over 65 lose balance-specific neural pathways at nearly twice the rate they lose muscle strength. Strength training helps your muscles. Cardio helps your heart, but neither one rebuilds the neurological wiring your body depends on to catch you in the half second before a fall. That wiring has a name. It is called proprioception, your body's internal GPS. And what you are about to learn in the next section is the one exercise that targets that system more directly and more powerfully than anything else in the physical therapy toolkit. Physical therapists use a specific diagnostic test to assess fall risk. It is called the tandem stance. The movement is simple. You place one foot directly in front of the other, heel touching toe, and you stand there. No movement, just stillness. Most adults over 65 cannot hold this position for 10 seconds without reaching for support. That is not a rough estimate. It is a published clinical benchmark from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy. When a therapist watches you struggle to hold that narrow stance, they are observing something specific and important. Your proprioceptive system is not firing efficiently. The sensors in your feet and ankles are not sending fast or accurate enough signals to your brain. And when those signals are slow, your reaction time to a stumble, that critical millisecond window between a slip and a fall, drops into the danger zone. Here's what separates tandem stance from every other balance exercise you have probably tried. Most balance drills challenge your muscles, heel raises, side steps, leg lifts. The tandem stance challenges your nervous system directly. It creates an intentionally narrow, unstable base of support and forces your brain to adapt, building new stabilization pathways, strengthening the neural routes between your feet and your cerebellum. Every second you hold that position is a second of measurable neurological calibration. Every wobble you catch without grabbing the counter is your proprioceptive system upgrading in real time. A study from the University of Pittsburgh's Department of Physical Therapy found that adults who practice daily tandem stance holds for just 4 weeks improved their functional balance scores by an average of 31%. 4 weeks, no equipment, no cost, no commute, just 60 seconds per morning in your own home. You're going to want to know exactly how to do this correctly, because the technique details in the next section make the difference between real improvement and wasted effort. Begin by standing near a wall or a solid countertop. Do not hold on to it yet. Keep your hand within a few inches of the surface, close enough to catch yourself if needed but not touching. That distinction is everything. The safety net must be there, but the moment you grip it, you remove the training signal entirely. Now, place your right foot directly in front of your left. Your right heel should contact, or nearly contact, your left toes. Your feet are now forming a single line. Your arms hang naturally at your sides. Your weight distributes evenly between both feet. Find a fixed point on the wall in front of you. A light switch, the edge of a picture frame, a small mark, and lock your gaze on it. Do not look down at your feet. Looking down shifts your center of gravity and introduces a visual input that teaches your brain the wrong balance pattern. That fixed forward gaze locks your visual system into stable mode, freeing your proprioceptive system to do the heavier work. Now hold. 10 seconds is your starting target. Do not grip the counter unless you genuinely feel yourself tipping. Let your ankles wobble. Let your body micro-adjust. That wobble is not failure. It is the nervous system learning. After 10 seconds, rest for 30 seconds, then repeat with your left foot in front. 3 holds per side. 60 seconds of active proprioceptive training. Here's the modification that most online guides skip entirely, and its omission genuinely harms people trying to start. If the heel-to-toe tandem position is too unstable for you to hold safely, begin with a semi-tandem stance instead. Slide your front foot forward by only half a shoe length. Your feet remain in line, but the increased gap between heel and toe creates a wider, more manageable base. This is the exact starting position that physical therapists use with post-stroke patients and people recovering from hip or knee replacement surgery. It provides meaningful proprioceptive challenge without the instability risk of the full position. Start where you honestly need to start. Progress is neurological, not muscular, and it happens faster than most people expect. Timing matters here, not in a vague wellness sense, but in a specific, neurological sense. Your proprioceptive system is most trainable in the first 30 minutes after you wake up. During sleep, your brain runs a consolidation cycle, processing the sensory information and physical adaptations from the previous day, cleaning up neural pathways, and resetting your sensory baseline. When you open your eyes each morning, your nervous system enters a brief window of heightened plasticity. It is more prepared to form new balance pathways in that window than at any other point in your day. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience confirmed this directly. Researchers found that morning proprioceptive training produced 22% greater long-term retention of balance improvements compared to identical exercises performed in the afternoon. Your body gives you a biological advantage window every single morning. Most people spend it sitting in a chair scrolling their phone. Here is your protocol. Before you sit down, before you brew coffee, before you check anything on any screen, stand near your kitchen counter. Perform 3 tandem stance holds, 10 seconds each, alternating which foot leads, and you are done. 60 seconds. That is the entire commitment. Weave it into the same automatic sequence as brushing your teeth, and it will feel unnatural to skip after 2 weeks. Within 30 days, most people notice a subtle but unmistakable shift in how they move through everyday spaces, doorways, curbs, parking lots, uneven ground. That shift is real, it is measurable, and it grows. But there is one more level of this exercise that produces the most dramatic neurological results of the entire protocol. And you need to know when and how to introduce it. Once you can hold the full tandem stance for 30 seconds without touching the counter, your proprioceptive system is genuinely improved. That is the clinical threshold. That is the point where physical therapists introduce the next stage. And it is remarkably, almost deceptively simple. Close your eyes. That is the entire advancement. When you eliminate visual input, your proprioceptive and vestibular systems must carry 100% of the stabilization load. No compensation, no backup. Your nervous system is now being asked to balance on its own, the way it has to perform during a real stumble. In the dark, in poor lighting, in that split second when your eyes have not yet processed what is happening. This version of the exercise is used clinically to assess and rebuild balance in patients at the highest fall risk, those with severe vestibular disorders, post-neurological events, and advanced age-related balance decline. It is also the version that produces the deepest neurological adaptations over time. Begin with eyes closed for just 3 to 5 seconds. Always position a wall or counter directly beside you before attempting this level. Always. Increase your duration by 2 seconds per week. Do not rush. The adaptations at this stage require more time to solidify, but they are being built at a deeper layer of your nervous system. When you reach a comfortable 10-second eyes closed tandem hold, you have rebuilt the millisecond level reflex architecture that most fall prevention programs never reach. You have crossed from basic balance maintenance into something closer to athletic level neurological protection, and you did it 60 seconds at a time. Every thread from this video now closes. You know why balance declines invisibly, the quiet erosion of proprioceptive wiring that begins long before any symptoms appear. You understand the neuroscience of the tandem stance and why it targets the right system. You have step-by-step instructions for performing it safely from wherever your balance is today. You know the morning timing advantage that makes those 60 seconds more neurologically powerful than the same exercise done later. And you have a progression roadmap that grows with you, from semi-tandem to full hold to eyes closed toward the clinical level balance capacity that keeps people active and independent through their 70s and 80s. Every open loop from this video now has an answer. Only one thing is left. Do the exercise. Today. This morning. Before your first cup of coffee, stand near your kitchen counter, place one foot in front of the other, and hold. 3 rounds. 60 seconds. That is your entire commitment to a body that catches itself instead of falling. If this video helped you, subscribe to Steady Steps. We publish new senior health and balance content every week, designed specifically for people who want to stay strong, independent, and confident on their feet for every year ahead. Leave a comment below and tell me how long you held your first tandem stance. We read every single one.